For me, I'm really drawn to cinema now, to see intimate stories. It's like we see the big blockbusters, but I also want to see something where I feel like I'm really connected to the characters and I really get to step inside their shoes. And there's nothing like the immersion of cinema to do that. Animals came to me, it was sent to me by my agents, and I read the book straight away and just thought it was so beautiful. I loved the characters so much. I loved the women who are best friends and roommates and sort of party friends, I guess. One of them was going to be a writer and has been writing all this time, but she sort of realises that she hasn't been writing anything. And on top of that, she falls in love with somebody. And that sets off a series of kind of questions about how, when you sort of reject the convention of life, what you do when things like love happen, and whether a friendship like that, a really all-encompassing friendship, can sustain across multiple passages of your life. The film is an Australian-Irish co-production. It was very unusual because I've filmed most of the things that I've made in Adelaide, which is where I'm from. And I think the place, you know, is a big part of what we make. Going to Dublin was like coming in as an outsider and having to fall in love with the city and having to do it really fast. So we shot with a bunch of Australians in Dublin, and then we did all the post-production in Adelaide and used all the post-production facilities that South Australia has on offer. One of the remarkable and beautiful things about living away from the rest of the world is that you can close the door and really do that work of finding a story and finding the movie.
So I hear there's this dress shop that does free fizz for brides-to-be. All the bubbles you can knock back.
Sounds like a challenge.
Doesn't it?
Bryan Mason is our cinematographer and our editor, and he's worked with me across most of my projects, including 52 Tuesdays. His sense of shooting for the story is really amazing, and then editing using all the footage and the material that he knows is there means that there's a whole world opened up. He's not just looking for the script in the footage, he's looking for everything that we got and all the amazing moments that happen serendipitously. So both of us work quite a lot in the edit and re-look at the material and the story. We don't lay down the script exactly as it was, and we're always looking for to find that last thing, and to have the same person shoot and edit means that that material and that curiosity is held not just by me, not just by my producers, but also by another person who's achieving it with you. The various looks inside Animals, you know, came very organically, I think, and very much from the characters and also from Dublin. There was a sense of the nightlife needing to feel like being off your face. So it was like, how can it feel beautiful and sort of glamorous, but also gritty and grotty all at the same time? The world of the two women's apartment was built into this crazy, dilapidated old school that we built an apartment into. And so we had all this great architecture of these old Georgian buildings, but we added elements, and we wanted these kind of dusty, old world, Hollywood kind of colours. Then the world of Jim, Laura's fiance, he's a very dedicated pianist, gets up every morning, practices piano. His world needed to reflect that order, so it became all about light and the use of light in his space. Our production designer, Louise Matthews, was so exceptional. We'd never worked together before, but it was the most perfect meeting of minds, and she just really fully embraced that style and achieved it on a very small budget.
Can I help you, ladies?
I need some kind of wedding dress.
Would you like some fizz while you're looking? It's complimentary.
Yes.
There is a lot of pressure, I think, after you make a film, and with 52 Tuesdays it went out into the world and it was really recognised in the world, and we had made it in such a small sort of way that, yeah, there was a pressure of like, what's going to be next? What are you going to do next? One thing that 52 Tuesdays taught me beautifully was that you have to ignore the rest of the world when you're making something and not think about how it's going to go out. That doesn't mean you ignore your audience, because I think you're always thinking about who you're making something for, but you have to ignore the industry, because otherwise that pressure is debilitating. Creativity is like a really deep dive. You know, you can't be thinking about how it's going to be received. You have to just think about the film.
So I thought Yates was the perfect choice.
Thank you.
Although I don't agree with you entirely. I think you need to get over your worries about perfection, or you're never going to finish this novel.
Why?
Because everyone I know is writing a novel. Do you know how many are actually going to finish one? Yeah, I think that's optimistic.
Animals is out in cinemas across Australia now, and it's a great film to see in the cinema, I think, because there's nothing like going with your friends and watching yourselves and your friends on screen.